Hello everyone, and welcome to the Labonyx Bltztorm the Labonyx Bltztorm Bostix news, part of the editorial edition and part of a path slide and cavalcade. This is another Storm Bostix production, and in this as part of this the Labonyx Bltztorm part of the Labonyx Bltztorm. And this overview will be where this overview will be in around some collaborative works that had taken place between colleagues as collaboratively, sort of retrospectively, between 2010 and 2013. However, more prospectively, works had been in around this had been had been updated, had been updated works, and where the works have been updated and have been put forward, and accepted for presentation in around the International Pediatric Transplant Association, International Pediatric Transplant Association, or IPTA, for 2023, and where this collaborative work was between colleagues at three three academic institutions, and this works is in around transplant neuroimmunobiology, the immune system, looking at the immune system, transplant rejection, and neuroendocrinology, and looking at this works from a sort of retrospective perspective, a retrospective a retrospective glance or standpoint, and where this works the full overview in around this works is available in a previous Storm Robotics production audio podcast series. However, I thought I'd take the opportunity, since those works had been put forward previously, have been put forward previously. Have been put forward as in sort of a full from a full perspective. The works had since been sort of had been accepted for presentation at for IPTA 2023, and so here I thought I'd provide, as part of this Bostix this Bostix news and the Labonyx Bltztorm, to provide a sort of an editorial or a sort of an abstract of this works. So in around some of this works then. So leukocyte and lymphocyte migration or trafficking from peripheral blood into affected tissues is an essential component of the inflammatory reaction to virtually all forms of injury, and is an important factor in the development of many diseases. Advances have highlighted the central role of chemokines. Cellular adhesion molecules have also been important in allograft rejections, since these molecules allow for protein receptor binding. So the aims and objectives around this works was to highlight how specific immunobiological and neuroendocrine markers can reduce chemokine migration and acute allograft rejection, or AAR. In and around the mechanisms, the pre-transplant the pre-transplant phase is just as central as the post-transplant period. It has been postulated in works that Selye's general adaptation syndrome in 1936 has specific neuroendocrine that has a specific neuroendocrine basis, and should be considered surrounding should be considered surrounding allograft prognoses. In and around the literature, so this works seeks to interrogate literature surrounding immunobiology and neuroendocrine or neuroimmunobiology to better understand acute allograft rejection post-transplant. In and around the analyses, investigations uniting immunobiology and neuroimmunobiology and acute allograft rejection are still rare, and the conclusions around this works. So based on Selye's or Selye's works, it has been postulated that chemokines appear to be integral players between immunobiology and neuroimmunobiology. Using a multidisciplinary laboratory practice, a multidisciplinary laboratory practice approach should encourage understanding of acute allograft rejection. Some terminologies around this works include, for example, physiology, chemokines, endocrinology, immunology, and chronic kidney disease. Where in this works, the underpinning or underlying perspective, underlying aspect had been chronic kidney disease and around chronic kidney disease, or CKD. At the same time, there will be, as in the case with previous sort of overviews in this editorial edition. In this editorial edition, there will be resources within the descriptives around this overview on social media for any listeners to check out the sort of literature and works in around this. So this was the Labonyx Bltztorm at the Labonyx Bltztorm perspective in around transplant neuroimmunobiology, the immune system, transplant rejection, and neuroendocrinology, and looking at this from a retrospective. This is part of an editorial edition, part of Bostix News and Pathslide and Cavalcade, and this is this editorial edition is part of another Storm Bostix production. Thank you.